All right, so today we're diving into an absolutely epic showdown between two of music's biggest legends. And look, if you think classical music is just some calm, sleepy background noise, you're going to want to stick around. Because this story, it has all the drama and rivalry of a modern celebrity feud. Seriously. So let's just start with a question for you. When I say the words rock star, who pops into your head? Maybe a guitarist with wild hair? A singer up on stage with thousands of screaming fans? Yeah? Okay, hold that thought. Because the answer might actually surprise you. The world's first rock stars didn't have electric guitars or giant light shows. Nope, they had pianos. And they created this absolute frenzy that would make even today's biggest pop stars pretty jealous. Okay, so to really get this rivalry, we first need to understand the world they were living in. Imagine the entire world of music at the time getting a massive software update. This update was called the Romantic Era. So basically, the old, super strict rules of music, they got tossed right out the window. Composers were like, we're done with these boring formulas. Instead, it became all about expressing huge personal emotions, telling epic stories and pouring your soul into the sound. And the number one weapon for this new emotional battlefield? The piano. All right, let's meet our first contender. Entering the stage from Poland, we have Frédéric Chopin. This guy was the absolute master of mood. Let's look at his player stats. Think of Chopin as that introspective, super sensitive artist. His music was deeply personal, just filled with these beautiful melodies that felt like he was telling you a secret. He poured all of his love for his homeland, Poland, into his music, and he much preferred playing in small, intimate rooms, kind of like an exclusive, unplugged session. Now, Chopin's secret weapon, his signature move, was this technique called rubato. Okay. Imagine this. You're playing a video game and you hit a button for a super dramatic slow-motion sequence during a big moment. That's rubato. Chopin would bend and stretch the timing of the music, speeding up and slowing down, just to make it incredibly expressive and emotional. It was his superpower. And in the other corner, stepping right into the spotlight from Hungary, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Franz Liszt. This guy was the showman. He was the spectacle. Liszt was a completely different beast. He was the global superstar. I mean, he had this unbelievable technical skill, incredible charisma, and his concerts were just legendary. People went so completely wild, we're talking screaming, fainting, that they actually had to invent a whole new word for it, Listomania. You can't make this stuff up. Get this, Liszt literally invented the modern solo concert as we know it. Before him, you'd never see just one person command a stage for a whole night. He totally hacked the format with 3 game-changing moves. First, he turned the piano sideways so people could watch his hands fly across the keys. Second, he ditched the sheet music to look way more impressive. And third, he made himself the sole main event. So there you have it, the poet versus the rock star, the deep, introspective artist versus the ultimate showman. They were two absolute masters of the piano, but they had completely different ideas about what music should be. So how do they really stack up, head to head? Let's break it down. I mean, you can see the difference so clearly here, right? Chopin's world was that small, intimate salon. It was all about depth and elegance for a small group of people. Liszt, on the other hand, was built for the giant concert hall. He was all about power, spectacle, and just blowing the minds of thousands of people at once. You could say Chopin gave the piano its soul, while Liszt gave it its swagger. Okay, so why are we still talking about two guys from the 1800s? What is the big deal? And, most importantly, why should any of this matter to you today? Well, first, you have to realize that their insane music was only possible because the piano itself got a major hardware upgrade. We're talking a new iron frame for a much louder sound, more keys for a wider range. It was kind of like going from an old gaming console to a brand new gaming PC. This new tech let them write music that was way more complex and powerful than ever before. The bottom line is this. These two literally wrote the instruction manual for the modern piano. They proved that a single instrument could express every single human emotion, from the quietest sadness to the most epic victory. They just pushed the boundaries of what was physically possible. And their music is so timeless, you still hear it everywhere, in movies, TV shows, even in video games today. So if there's just one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Chopin and Liszt transformed the piano from just a bunch of keys and strings into the ultimate machine for telling epic, personal stories with nothing but sound. And that leaves us with one final thought. If these two were alive today, posting on Instagram or TikTok, Who would you follow? Would you be on Team Chopin, the moody, poetic artist with that perfect aesthetic feed? Or Team Liszt, the flashy global superstar doing insane challenges and live streaming his sold-out stadium shows? I'm curious. Let me know what you think.